Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I want to talk about Major League Baseball. The Boston Red Sox signed a veteran infielder to a 2-year contract. What I want to talk about today is who they signed and what this means for the team for the next few seasons. Again, I'm Alec Walt. This is Down the Block Sports. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Yes, according to multiple reports, the Boston Red Sox and veteran third baseman Justin Turner have agreed to a 2-year, $22 million contract. Turner's played a majority of his career, specifically since 2014, with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and comes to Boston as a 38-year-old. Obviously, if you want to start with the positives, Justin Turner's a guy who comes from a winning background. He played with the Los Angeles Dodgers while they were contenders. These last few seasons did win a World Series as well for that team. Has always been known as a clutch player, but comes to Boston not exactly at a time when they're a contending team. Obviously, when you're Justin Turner, you have to take the deals that are on the table. It didn't look like he was going back to the Los Angeles Dodgers due to other moves that they were going to make this offseason. So he's now coming to Boston, and the main question is, where is he going to play? Justin Turner, for a majority of his career, specifically the last 3 seasons, has been primarily a third baseman. You look at the Boston Red Sox, they have one of the best third basemen in Major League Baseball. Rafael Devers is right now the face of the franchise after Xander Bogaerts left for the San Diego Padres. And obviously, Red Sox fans are dying for the Red Sox to extend him to a contract that could exceed $400 million. Now, hopefully, this isn't a deal that he's going to be playing that position because Devers could be going to another place. You look at the Red Sox right now. I'm not really overly concerned about him taking the job at all at third base, which means, he has experience at first base, doesn't play there very often, but he can. They just let go of Eric Hosmer, which means their first basemen are Tristan Cassis and Bobby Dalbec. He does have a little bit of experience at second base. Now that 38 years old, I don't think that's exactly the position he's going to play primarily. So you have to think, with JD Martinez no longer on the team, signed a 1-year, $10 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers, that DH could be a position that Turner could play for the Red Sox at least next year. Yes, he does have the versatility to play defense when needed, but he is someone who could be playing DH. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how did Justin Turner make $1 million more than JD Martinez if your expectation is him to potentially play that DH position? And obviously, the 1-year, $10 million deal for someone like JD Martinez, who could very easily have a bounce back year next year for the Dodgers, instead they decided to go in this direction. Now, Turner didn't have a bad year last year for the Dodgers, not exactly a year he's had, and that's one of his best years as a professional baseball player, but he had 278 with 13 home runs, 81 RBIs, 61 runs scored. He was still a productive piece for the Dodgers, even though it wasn't one of his best seasons. Now, in a year where he had more at-bats in 2021, he was an all-star at 36 years old, where he hit 278 as well, had the same average back-to-back seasons with 27 home runs, 87 RBIs, and 87 runs scored. So, obviously, if you're the Red Sox right now, you are banking on a potential bounce back here for Justin Turner. I mean, if you can find a way to replicate the 2021 numbers compared to the 2022 numbers, you have someone who can be a very productive piece in the middle of your order, play third base when needed to. When you look at the Red Sox right now, the internal options at the DH position are not great. It could be the Tristan Cassis or Bobby Dalbec when they're not playing first base. Maybe, you move Kike in and Duran to the outfield. You have someone like Christian Arroyo. I mean, I'm not exactly saying the best names to play a position that's designated for a batter only. Justin Turner being 38 years old and still being a professional, he's someone you could see better suited for that role on the team and play defense when needed to. Obviously, when you saw Kike Hernandez on Twitter posting a emoji with a smiling face, it's someone who is clearly excited that his former teammate with the Dodgers is on his way to the Boston Red Sox. So, when I look at this deal, if your objective is to have him play DH, you blew it with JD, because JD is the much better value here when it comes to contract purposes. When you look at the Red Sox right now, they lost a veteran leader. Justin Turner's not going to be someone coming to Boston causing problems in the clubhouse. I mean, someone who comes from a winning background. Is this a winning team? highly unlikely unless there's some massive surprises in the pitching department. But at the end of the day, they needed someone who can make an impact in the middle of this order, probably hit, I'd say fifth. When you look at the Red Sox order, you got Yoshida, Story, Verdugo, Devers. I could very likely see if he plays DH for the most part full time that 5 or 6 spot, depending on how Cassius develops next year with the Boston Red Sox, could be somewhere in the middle of the Red Sox order next year. So I don't love the fact that they gave him more years and more money than JD when JD was already someone in house. I do think there's a ton of bounce back potential there with him next year with the Dodgers, but you do like the ability that he can play defense if needed. JD obviously wasn't one of the best defensive players, did play if needed to, but it wasn't exactly something he did very often. But at 38 years old, the Red Sox aren't exactly getting, premier Justin Turner. If he could bounce back and have those 2021 numbers, the Sox can have a very productive batter in the middle of their order next year. But besides what he does on the field, he's someone who's going to be key in a clubhouse that may be rocky next year. Who knows what happens with the future of Chaim Bloom and Alex Cora? Obviously, you're not going to put the pressure of that on someone like Turner, but they need someone who can help in the clubhouse. I think he can do that in the short term. This is Rafael Devers' team. He's not coming to Boston to play third base. If Devers needs a day off, we have a third baseman. But again, I expect him to be primarily someone who DHs unless there's other movement. And if they moved Rafael Devers, shame on the Boston Red Sox. But it is expensive, but I think Justin Turner, if he can bounce back offensively, can be an extremely productive piece in the middle of this order. And he's not going to cause many problems. The Sox have had a background of adding some players with the Dodgers before. Hopefully they can get another former Dodger in Kike Hernandez to bounce back again next year. But this move doesn't exactly turn the Red Sox into one of the better teams in the American League East. I mean, right now, their best is probably going to be fourth place, and that all depends on what Baltimore does this offseason, as well as having some of their young players take a next step with a team that was one of the surprises last year in Major League Baseball. So, I mean, I'll take it. Justin Turner's a great guy. Doesn't move the needle very much. But the Sox need a DH, and there's some bounce back potential with him hitting fifth or sixth, potentially in the order, if Yoshida, Verdugo, Story, and Devers can be productive pieces in the Red Sox order next season. What do you think of this deal between the Boston Red Sox and Justin Turner? Feel free to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you very soon.